It's dangerous to podcast alone.
I'm your host, Madelyn.
I'm your other host, Emma.
Like my boyfriend was making fun of me when I was testing my microphone, and I did almost say I'm your intro host, just because that's what he said.
Well, technically you are an intro host because this is the intro, and then at the end you'll be the outro host because it'll be the outro.
No such thing as an intro host. Like, that's from a side quest format that we have not used in over a year.
We do it on split screen.
That is in writing.
That's basically the same thing.
You're right. We do script out these entire podcasts, so it is basically the same thing.
Yeah, none of this is off the cuff.
Not
you can tell by how detailed and organized we are all the time.
It's all an act to make you think that we haven't planned it all meticulously. But thanks for tuning in to your friendly neighborhood video game podcast. Hey, we're officially in year 3 of Talk This Podcast.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Wild.
And we'll celebrate, as anyone should, with some side quest fun.
Woo!
So let's kick it off. Emma, let's load up our save data. What have you been playing the past 2 weeks?
Well, first, I bought Resonance of Fate 4K HD edition, which I think is really funny. Why wouldn't you just say remastered or something? But no, it's very specific 4K HD edition. Okay. It's a very weird game, which is kind of why I bought it, because I was like, it seemed very different from anything. I guess I should try it, you know? It's very hard. So basically, I could not tell you what's happening plot-wise, like, at all. We seem to be like a sort of mercenary group taking on sort of odd jobs. I don't know. But there's 3 characters that you control. I don't think they're actually siblings, but they live together and they're all blonde, so who knows. But basically what you do is you all have guns. You attack with guns. And, like, the way you attack is, like, you can like charge the gun a certain amount of times, or you can run with the gun, and if you run between the other 2 characters, you get like a resonance point, and if you use a resonance point, you can do like a tri-attack where they all run in a triangle and attack somebody, and you only have like a certain amount of like moves that you get back by either killing an enemy or like breaking a gauge on the enemy or something. And yeah, if you run out of those moves, you go into critical condition and you basically lose unless you're very much at the end of the fight. And when you lose and you die, you have to pay money to retry. Otherwise, you have to load your game.
Like actual money?
No, not actual money, Madeline. Like money in the game.
Don't say that like it's a crazy thing.
It's on a console. It's not on a mobile game. I guess I didn't say that, but it's on PlayStation 4. So I would never... If I saw a PlayStation 4 game that required you to pay actual money to retry, I would raise my eyebrows. That's something that mobile games do, Mel. No, you have to pay in-game money, but you also have to buy stuff with that money so that you don't die. So I was in a real bad situation where I had, like, 2 tries, essentially, when I still really didn't understand the combat system. And I basically had to load and do an entire dungeon again.
No.
So, as you can tell from the way I explained it, it's very confusing. And I can't quite decide if it's because the tutorials are confusingly written and presented, or if it's because I just have no frame of reference for this form of combat, and I think it's a little bit of both, right? I have no frame of reference to draw from for where the tutorial is written poorly. So it's just like this whole mess of systems, and they don't ease you into it. They're just like, sort of like, go to the arena if you're confused about how to fight, and then you can do like 20 tutorials all in a row.
Oof.
And you really need to know all of them if you're gonna be doing anything.
Yeah.
So that was like the first like hour of my game was just doing tutorials, which was interesting, to say the least. So my experience with Resonance Fate had been like, I'm very interested. It would have been nice to see this formula of game like maybe I had iterated on and improved. But that's just been a little bit, because then last Friday, Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition came out, which I got for my Switch, and that I'm very much enjoying. I'm a fan of the Tales of series, not a dedicated fan, but they're like the definition of like a reliable game series. Like they always put out something that's entertaining, right?
Mm-hmm.
In some way it'll entertain you. And Vesperia is generally considered one of like the better ones, like one of the really good ones. And the Definitive Edition has content that was previously never released in the West. They made like a PS3 version that had extra content on it. So there's this weird thing where your main character, Yuri, is mostly voiced by Troy Baker, but in the extra part is not voiced by Troy Baker. Is voiced by some guy doing his best Troy Baker impersonation. So that's a little weird, especially when all the other people had voice actors. It was a little bit of a controversy a while back. Like, Troy Baker was like, they didn't even call me to see if I would want to do it. Which was like, why wouldn't you just, I get that he's probably expensive now, but you could have at least, called him and see if he would do it for cheap. Feels like he maybe would, Troy Baker.
How much
usually.
extra content could there possibly,
There's a lot.
Oh, there's a lot, okay.
They think they voiced all these scenes that were not previously voiced, also, because everything's voiced.
Just have him do it on his iPhone or something.
Not quite how it works. But I get that it's expensive,
worse,
but
though?
I don't...
Would it be worse to have a crappy audio, but
yes,
it's the
yes, it would be worse.
No,
I've gotten to the point where it was a little jarring when I first heard it, but actually the other voice, it's more jarring when Troy Baker comes on, because so far the other voice actor has been speaking the most, actually. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they added. But interestingly, usually, I'm like, the story is fun and the characters are fun, but usually it's the battle system where I really like Tales. Tales of Berseria has a really, really, really satisfying battle system. And what I'll say for Vesperia is you can tell how they've improved it over the years. It's fine. It's kind of boring. And sometimes frustrating. I think I was trying to think about, I was like, why is Berseria so satisfying when this is not, when they're fundamentally the same approach? And one I think is sound effects. The sound effects in Berseria are really, really good and satisfying, and these ones are not. But it's also because your guard doesn't really do anything in Vesperia. And it's really hard to use backstep because you have to learn it from your weapons. So you don't have it from the get-go. So you can't dodge, and it's really hard to stun enemies too. So you never really feel like you've made a good move. You know, you're just oh god, I'm dying.
Ugh.
So I've actually started. You can play whatever character you want in your party. So I've started playing as the healer, actually.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes me I manage everything while the other people get to do the super fun task of hitting the boss until it dies. Yeah, but the most fun part of Tales is, of course, the costumes. And the Definitive Edition comes with free DLC with not a billion, but a whole bunch of costumes and accessories for your characters. So I've been really enjoying that. For a little bit, I was just trying out costumes. You can see on my Twitter, there's some that I was trying out. And then for a bit, when I had all my party members, or most of them, I made it a little bit of a high school AU. So they're all wearing uniforms. It's very cool. Flynn was the student council president. I was very upset because I really wanted it to be a real high school AU because I knew Flynn was going to leave my party. But I really wanted him to stay in costume because usually the characters stay in their costumes once you've put them in the party, even when they're not in the party. So I really wanted to be a high school AU with a student council president is just chasing us around, telling us to follow the rules. But no, they had to put him back into his normal outfit because of plot reasons.
Lame.
It's very, very unsatisfying. But those are the two major games I've been playing. What about you, Madelyn?
I just want to say that it's embarrassing on our Two Lady Video Game podcast that your rave review for the game is about dress up.
Listen, I want every game to have dress up. I love...
You can't say
that.
The
best part of Tales games is making them look stupid, okay? It's making them look dumb. That's the best part. Making them look as dumb as possible, okay? Carol is a lunch lady, okay? He's dressed as a lunch lady, and it's lovely. Alright?
See, this is why we can't have female protagonists in our games, Emma. This is why.
I've been playing as Estelle, okay? Right now, they're in, like, traditional... Well, most of them, whoever has it, in, like, traditional Japanese clothes, because they're in, like, a festive town, so I thought it was appropriate.
You get to play dress up in Red Dead? You do, don't you?
You have to change his hat. I don't know if you get to change all his clothes. His hat and his beard.
Nice.
I think, yeah.
Nice. So it's for men, too.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's see. What have I been playing? Well, as you can probably guess, we've had a fair bit of adventures of Champ McDude. We're trying our best to woo all the ladies. Although I read an interesting think piece this week about the mixed feelings that people have about Champ's, not that he's called, but my Champ anyway, Champ's relationships with the adult women in the game.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like, Persona 5 is very much leaning into, like, you are Champ.
Yeah.
Right? And it's recognizing that there are probably a good percentage of men in their 20s and 30s also playing the game. So I feel like that's the rationale behind it, in that Champ is not really a high schooler, quote unquote, unless you want him to be, quote unquote, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's what... So that makes it a little less weird, but there's still some weirdness to it.
Yeah. Well, who cares? We still trying to get with all the ladies.
Yeah, I'll post that picture of your face.
Don't post that picture of my face. But yeah, so far I'm dating Makoto on the fortune teller, the shoyu player, not shoyu,
Shogi.
It's the second time I've done this.
Gosh darn it, Madelyn.
It's a kind of ramen. Oh man. Yeah, the
That's
fortune
3.
teller.
No, that's 4.
The shogi player. We're very close to dating the doctor. Might try to... Can you date Futaba?
No.
Dang it, because Coffee Dad really wanted me to. He was like, don't date Futaba. And then he was like, actually...
No, you can't date her, because I say so.
Wait, but can I, though?
No.
Are you just saying that to me? It's important for how I strategize here, Emma.
No.
You're not being helpful. Can I date this very young girl?
She's not very young. She's a year younger than you, but no, you can't.
I don't believe you, but okay.
Google it if you don't believe me.
Fair enough.
Listeners, tell her she can't, okay? Weak.
So yeah, I've got a few more people I'm trying to, level up. We might try to... Well, I'm trying to decide whether Haru is worth my time. Because she's only, at level 3 right now. But I think if I devote a lot of time to her, we could cultivate that relationship. Maybe enough. Gotta think about it. But then, do I want to bond with Yusuke?
Yeah.
I do. But it's just a difficult calculus. That's all. So, yeah, Champ's been having a grand old time. Just romancing everybody in sight and getting affinity readings every night to make up for my poor decision making, basically. Yep. But we're trying to do, because, of course, again, this is just like me being like, I'm into the things that women are into in video games. That's like the theme of this episode. But I'm trying to get through the dungeon. No. Madeline, you've been playing this game for 100 hours. Call it what it is. I've been trying to get through the palace in a single day.
Wow.
Because I want as many days as possible to get my romance on, basically.
Yeah.
So we've gotten through, and deep spoilers for Persona 5 at this point, right, y'all? But I can't even be like, you should have played it by now, because it's a massive game. So no, it's fine if you haven't played it yet. So how many letters of recommendation have I gotten? 3? 4?
There's 5 total, right?
Yeah, I think I've gotten 3, but we're right almost to the 4th guy. I can't remember.
Well, you're making good progress, it seems like.
I am making good progress. We're doing good. I discovered that one of my orders is a thing that restores SP, but only in battle. So that's been a fun time, trying to figure out how to use that without getting myself killed.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're having a grand old time. Love when we turn into mice.
Yeah, that's the best part of the game, honestly. No.
Yusuke's puns make it worth it, and seeing them run around with their little Phantom Thief masks on as mice.
Yes, it's very cute, but also very annoying.
Yeah, I did not love those locked corridors and that whole nonsense. Yeah. And it was so much of it was just like I wouldn't be able to find, like I would know that there had to be a mouse vent somewhere, and I just like couldn't find it, and I kept going back and forth, and there were too many. I do understand why they did it, to be annoying, but there were too many load screens.
Yeah.
Where the enemies would respawn.
Yeah.
And it wasn't fair because I was only going back and forth because I couldn't find the path.
Yeah.
So, but it's going well. Things are going well for McDude-kun and co. Hopefully we'll change his heart soon. Else times, that's not a word, at Talk This NYC HQ, it's been, Kingdom Hearts prep continues. We watched Back Cover, which is actually, only an hour. They finally learned their lesson. And
well, it's because it's an original thing. It's not trying to make a game into a movie.
Yeah. Whatever. And what the heck?
It's showing the history of everything.
I know.
May your heart be your guiding key, Madelyn. The worst advice anybody has ever given anybody in the world.
Key or key?
It's a good question. They might have heard key, but Ray Chase, Master of Masters, might have been saying key all along.
What was with that?
Master of Masters?
Why was he played like why was that the choice?
Why not?
Why though?
That feels like the right choice to me, honestly.
No.
Yes. It's like, because all the apprentices are so freaking serious, right?
Right. That's exactly why it's a very strange choice for me. Because, like, how do you listen to this guy and not feel like, nah, he's pulling the wool over my eyes?
Because they're very serious.
No. It sounded like someone, like, dropped Spider-Man into the Kingdom Hearts universe. And he's, like, cracking wise. And you know what? Spider-Man, it's, like, partially owned by Disney. Yes.
Yeah. It would be difficult, probably, to get Spider-Man into Kingdom Hearts still. Maybe Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah. So, that game answered I'm so confused by it that I'm not even able to speak. It brought up so many new questions for no reason and answered almost nothing.
I mean, it's the lead up to the Keyblade War.
I know that.
Okay.
I realize it's the lead up to the Keyblade War, but why did I need that? Why did I need to know the lead up to the Keyblade War?
Well, clearly it'll be important because it's what's in the box, Madelyn.
You know the only people who care about the box are frickin' Maleficent and Pete. And I've been taught by these games that Maleficent and Pete don't matter.
I'm pretty sure we've seen Luxord also talking about the box.
Who is Luxord?
He's Nomura's favorite.
Which one even is he?
He's Nomura's favorite organization member, Madelyn.
Which one is he? What does he look like?
The cards, and he's got the piercings and the short blonde hair.
Yeah. Wanna bet?
Wanna bet? Yeah. Wanna bet?
Wanna bet?
But you got Yusuke the unicorn and Ryuji the hooded man.
Yeah, but still.
Ryuji the carrying the box around.
I didn't place that when I was listening to it, actually, but that I should go back and listen and see if I can hear that. Yeah, it just raised more questions than I was ready for, and then I started looking into more of the lore for the mobile games, and I wish I hadn't.
Yeah. I really think that the only thing will be relevant will be what was in back cover. I really do.
How can they allow this to have happened to Ventus?
I don't know. I don't know what the hell is happening with Ventus, and if you don't know what we're talking about, don't look into it.
Please don't look.
Don't.
You don't want to do this. I started to look into it, and I something in me died.
I mean, they seem in Union Cross. They seem to be in some sort of data or dream world.
I know,
I'm
and
assuming.
that's exactly why this is not allowed.
Yeah. So it's not actually it's the past, but it's not actually the past.
But it could be, because we have no idea. We don't know anything about Ven's past. Where did he come from?
Yeah. Did you get far enough to see what's his face, whatever Marluxia's somebody's name is, and Larxine's somebody?
No. I mean, maybe I did, but I didn't place it.
Did you see the girl who was following the player character get killed?
It's better than I
then
didn't,
you didn't get
right?
that far.
It's just ugh. It's enough that I'm having to prepare for this game, dropping in single-digit days now here on Sunday.
Damn! How much? Wait, is it? It's 9 days, right? So it's Demic's amount of days. Dance, water, dance, baby.
Get your dance on. Yeah, we're very excited. We'll have to talk about ground rules for talking about that game on the show.
Yeah. We probably shouldn't say anything about it beyond general impressions for.
Yeah, I need to talk about how Clickbait Boyfriend's gonna. It's just gonna be interesting to handle.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Clickbait Boyfriend finished Dreams of Distance, and also because he's an addict, he finished Riku's story of Chain of Memories.
Wow. So really, all you have left is
right, but I have to play it first. Is the problem? Right? I need to find a time to play it.
Right.
Where I feel comfortable annexing him to the kitchen while I play.
Right.
But yeah, it's been an exciting Kingdom Hearts full 2 weeks, basically, as we have finished our prep work here. We'll talk about that more in the traffic report, because I think it's probably time for us to move on to the weather report.
Yeah. Yeah. So our weather report's sort of weird, just because we're just kind of whoa about it. Okay, so there's this thing going on right now, and I don't even know, really. There's so many things going on here that, what? But, essentially, it's the CEO, right?
Yes, I think he's the ex-CEO.
The CEO. Well, I would imagine now.
I mean, I would too.
If he wasn't before. No, so Randy Pitchford, which is a appropriate name, honestly. Someone was suing him, and said that he's using Gearbox employees and property to fund himself, and also that he has underage pornography on a USB stick and had parties where they flashed people for his amusement.
I'm sorry, it's not funny.
It's really not funny, but at the same time, it's just ridiculous. And Pitchford himself has said, at least in regard to the thumb drive, that yes, he did leave it in 2014 at a medieval times in Dallas. I mean, okay, everything about this is terrible, but why is he frequenting medieval times? And two, why did he have it with him at a medieval times? Why did he have this USB with him? Are there undercover porn deals going on at medieval times?
Here's the best part of this USB drive. It's not like his secret porn drive. it's not just like he was just carrying, like, you know, he's like, oh, we gotta keep this on my USB, so it's like not on my computer or not on my work. I can like watch it at work, but it's not on my work computer, which like, ew. But you know, it's
Yeah.
like that at least to be like, this makes sense. I understand. Like, you're gross and like possibly doing something illegal depending on the age of the people involved, but like, I understand how your mind is functioning, but not only did this USB have this porn of questionable legality on it, but it also had, like, Gearbox trade secrets. And, like, details of deals with all sorts of companies, like, high-profile companies. And he left it at a medieval times.
I know.
So really the weather report this week is whether the worst part of the story is that anyone has ever gone to a medieval times.
There's more ridiculous stuff, but it gets a little bit more graphic. So I don't really want to say anymore.
Was it a podcast or was it an interview?
It was I think it's a podcast. But since we are a respectable podcast, we're not going to repeat it.
Suffice it to say, he described some of the contents of that USB in extreme detail.
And weird detail.
It has to do with magic.
Yeah. But, I mean, the suits itself are mostly about him, like, misusing Gearbox funds and stuff, whereas this is just side stuff on the side. Even the former Gearbox vice president said that he considers Pitchford a liar and a con man, but doesn't have any idea about his sexual
Literally
abilities.
the tweet is like, liar, checkbox emoji, con man, checkbox emoji, perv, not sure.
Yeah. So there was supposed to be like a weather in
I've
there.
got several I can drop. Whether medieval times is the worst part of the story. Whether it's the best part. Whether it's the reason we've heard about this at all. I think so. I think medieval times probably paid for the publicity bump. Whether,
probably.
I mean, of course, the serious one is like whether like he really did these things. Here's one. Whether it's surprising at all that the guy that ran Gearbox is a little bit effed up.
Yeah. I mean, that's a dangerous
I know.
path to walk. I think that last one. But
I'm just saying. Yeah. Like, does this feel like the kind of thing that would be like a quest in a Borderlands game? Of like, I left my USB at medieval times, like, go retrieve it for me?
Borderlands.
I know, it's a little borderline.
Yeah. Borderlands doesn't get that bad.
It wouldn't go into this much detail, but like, you'd be like, there's some sensitive stuff on it.
Yeah, that's fair. It would do that. Yeah, so that's the story of interest right now, so it felt like it fit the weather report. And it's definitely a thing that is happening.
It's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
I really want someone to do an expose of, like, what he was doing at medieval times.
With the USB.
I don't know. You can carry, like... It's weird that he would have been keeping it somewhere where he could have, like, left it there by mistake.
Yeah. Like, I would put that in, like... like, it's got the collection and sensitive documents
collection!
On it. I would be putting it, like, within, like, at least, like, 7 zippers in my bag.
Alright, Nomura-san. Right. Chill out.
Anyway, I think, I don't know if he's the current CEO or not, but if he is, he shouldn't be anymore. He should be gone. So that's the assessment.
It's not fair to discriminate against people because of their choice of restaurant.
Not because of that.
Entertainment, perhaps.
No. no, not because of that. Because he broke the law in several ways, it seems like. So, yeah.
Well, delightful. Let's put that in a box. Let's put that on the flash drive and lock it away somewhere, shall we? 7 zippers between us and it. And, sigh of relief. You're out of the cold. You're into the warm. You've got your Moogle pillow. And yes, it's the off-topic corner. But brr. It's kind of a combo with the actual weather report, because this week our off-topic corner is about snow and winter weather.
Yeah. It's supposed to snow.
Well, it's supposed to have snowed and be snowing, I think is what you mean to say.
It's supposed to have snowed. It didn't snow. Did I say did or didn't? The world will never know.
Yeah. It's really frustrating now that, I don't know. I feel like in DC, and this is definitely not true, I'm definitely romanticizing it, but like I feel like in DC when it was like forecast to snow, and when it actually, the night before it really was forecast to snow, it would snow. Whereas in New York,
no.
It's sometimes forecast to snow and it still doesn't really, or it does and it just doesn't stick because of that hot city ground.
No, there were definitely times in the DC area where it would not snow. I remember like doing the whole like flushing ice cubes down the toilet thing and wearing pajamas inside out when I was younger in hopes it would snow.
I wish it would. I really do. And I say that even though I walk to work now.
Why? Why do you want
nice.
To snow?
I don't know.
I guess.
Pups.
I don't know. I guess I don't have to worry about it. I work on Mondays and Wednesdays. So one of the things I asked about was like, what do I do if there's a snow? Which is generally just work from home. But like, yeah, I'd like if the tea was still running and it was snowing. I'm not looking forward to experiencing that for the first time.
Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you, but I want it to snow here. I don't know. It'll be annoying. It'll be slushy and horrible for the next several weeks, but man, if it's going to be 15 degrees, I mean, it might as well snow.
Yeah, I guess so. If it's going to be cold anyway. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that cold here.
Well, isn't that nice for you? Think of me
it
in
is
your
nice
warm
for me.
off-topic corner as I run around the streets of New York, losing finger after finger to frostbite because I forgot my gloves at Talk This Original HQ.
Oh, Dan, I picked up packages last week, and I hadn't worn my gloves, and it was a mistake.
You can't...
I had to run my fingers under, like, cold water to warm them back up.
You can't see it, listeners, but Emma is missing half of her pinky finger.
I am. It was a trial. Somehow made it back to the apartment, but my pinky finger came off. So that's what you're supposed to do when you're really cold, is you're not supposed to run your fingers under hot water, because that will just hurt. You're supposed to do it under, like, cold or lukewarm water.
Wow. Talk This actual useful tip of the week.
Yep. Because it felt warm. Like, it was not at the heat
give us
setting,
more detail, by
but
all
it
means.
felt hot. Yeah, because the wind, it was really the wind that had destroyed.
Definitely. No. Walk me through exactly what you felt.
Okay. So, I had gone from class. I was still wearing my backpack. I had to pick up some chocolate milk first. So I went to the Wally's, got the chocolate milk. And then I walked down the street to the package place because I thought that the packages were smaller than the packages that were actually there. And I got 2 medium-sized packages plus a small package. So I put the small package in the bag with my chocolate milk, but I had to carry the other 2 packages, and I didn't have gloves. And my dorm is all the way across the street from the package place, which doesn't seem too bad, but you have to wait for the light because it's also crossing the T line. And then you have to walk all the way there, and then you have to open the door, and then you have to give them your card, and then you have to go all the way up the elevator, and sometimes there's tons of people. So You have to go up, and then you go in your room, and then you run your fingers under cold water.
Thanks.
This has been Off Topic Corner.
What sound does the tea make?
I don't know.
Keep making traffic sounds, quick.
I don't know. The traffic
Those
report.
all sound like terrible bird cries.
I don't know. That's kind of what traffic sounds like,
so.
right? So we've been a little bit off schedule these past 2 weeks because we are settling into the new norm, so to speak. Yeah, so our regularly scheduled content, we've had 2 split screens and
it's
one
supersized
boyfriend,
though,
right?
and truly it is one of the best clickbait boyfriends yet.
Yes, it does wrap up the entirety of Dream Drop Distance. Are you gonna do one for what's left to do? You can do one for back cover and one for.
So ideally published
passage.
within the next 24 hours of this episode posting, but possibly already published depending on how my schedule has already shaken down this weekend. Will be a mini post on back cover. I have some quotes about it. The memes are going to be tricky because I had not watched back cover. I had not been saving any memes because I didn't understand. So that might take me a little longer than usual because I don't have a stockpile to draw from.
I will look for the there's a I think it's Project Estati tweeted it's an Xbox, but it's a key box.
Yeah. So that will ideally be coming up soon. Then again, I need to play 0.2 and then Josh needs to play it. But he plays through these things, pretty speedily because have I mentioned that he is addicted?
Yeah. 0.2 is pretty.
Yeah. So ideally that will come up next week, and then on launch day we'll have a post of Clickbait Boyfriend's predictions for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Exciting.
So we'll see how those go. Obviously we can look back on them. But yeah. Man, I was looking back through some old ones this week too, because did you know that one of the top 10 posts on our blog is Kingdom Hearts racist? One New Yorker thinks it might be. Has 250 hits.
Yeah. Oh, for knowledge purposes, by the way, my pre-order for Tales of Vesperia arrived at about noon, and then I got the email about it at about 6:15. So it might not be Kingdom Hearts 3 will probably follow a similar pattern, except the email might come earlier because it won't be during
Intriguing.
move-in week.
I will have to get Clickbait Boyfriend to skip class, even though it's his first week of classes, to stay at home all day, not even at home, sitting by the door to make sure that he lets things go.
Exactly, yes.
That would be crushing.
You just have to buy it digitally.
Maybe I'll have it
also.
delivered to work. My boss will be like, what is that? I'll be like,
you can do it.
Important work business.
It's important, boss.
I'll be like, I'll have to leave. Bye.
Bye.
No, I teach a class that day, so it would probably arrive anyway. Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah, but just for purposes.
Yeah. I'm getting hype. Hype.
Knowledge purposes. I cannot believe it's so
it's
close.
Crazy.
Like
I know.
what?
Well, okay, so important traffic report. So, traffic report usual. Make sure you follow us on our social media, right? We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Talk This Podcast. And new this week, Emma is on Twitter at Exploding Pom Poms, right? Not plural,
Pom-pom,
just
yeah.
one exploding pom pom.
There's a character limit.
If there was more than one. So you should follow her too, because she has funny tweets.
I'm tweeting all about my playthroughs.
Yeah.
So you can enjoy that.
But Emma, when are you gonna launch your yearbook quotes?
Oh man, I might just have to do that for the day before. I'll make like a whole like page and stuff. I was thinking about doing a countdown, but I thought that might get upset.
Yes. Only
excessive.
If you make a class photo also.
Okay, I will do my darndest.
There's no,
okay.
Just like paste all of their heads onto the my friends are my power thing. Okay?
Okay.
Good.
Sure. Sure, we'll do.
So on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, there's some content. We're still kind of ramping up our new social media strategy, aka I've been slacking. But there'll be some good stuff. And I have this idea to start like spoiler-free Kingdom Hearts reaction tweets.
Just quotes.
We'll just make sure we take it like it's like Kingdom Hearts out of context, which by the way posted that I don't want to interrupt the ball screenshot the other day, and I wept. Truly the holiest image. But yeah,
I can't. The trailer today showed like NPCs galore, and it was amazing.
That's not allowed. Actually.
I know. I mean, the trailer on Friday.
Yeah, not today.
I at least will not be looking at Twitter very much come the 27th or 25th.
I forgot that it comes out in Japan first. Yikes.
The 25th.
I'll have to tell Josh to stop looking at Kingdom Hearts memes.
Yeah, so we will not be looking at much come then. Although, like, with the leaks out there, would it really be any more dangerous?
There's just people tweeting about it in Japanese. So I'm not going to be able to read that anyway.
I guess so, that's true.
But
certainly come the 29th, I will not be on Twitter for about a week or two, probably.
Well, you'll just do it through Hootsuite, right? You can just schedule your reactions.
Yeah, we'll be a little bit less, like, reacting to the gaming world, a little less, a little bit more, like, strict content, just because I don't want to see spoilers for this.
Let's see. Much. Other social media you should follow us at is YouTube, Talk This Sisters. Soon another Play This, right?
Yes, I worked on the World Ends With You Play This yesterday. So I'm just gonna get back into the schedule starting this month, so it'll be out like the last.
Exciting! So definitely follow us on YouTube. Clickbait Boyfriend and I are strategizing about a new series that's gonna launch this year that we're very excited about, and it's very dorky. So get hyped for that.
Perfect.
That he was like, oh, if it's good, like, I'll share it with people I know. And I was like, do you really want them to look at this channel, Josh?
There should also be, I've already started drafting a 10 Thoughts in 10 Hours for Tales of Vesperia, and there should be one also for Resonance of Fate.
Well, it's going to be exciting time on our platforms. Speaking of platforms, hey, you like the show? Why don't you listen every week? You can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify. Maybe more coming soon. Who knows? And you can also, while you're there, give us a rate and a review and subscribe.
We really appreciate it.
I already did the social media. I was feeling like I had forgotten something. So all that leaves us is the question of the fortnight.
So, in honor of how much Tales of Vesperia I've played and how much I've dressed up my characters to be beautiful versions of themselves, and how lovely costumes can be, I was wondering if you could add a costume set to literally every game, anywhere, what would the theme of that costume set be?
This is a tough one. My first instinct...
See, I'm really partial to the high school AU because I feel like it transfers so well across mediums, across game genres and story topics and stuff. Like, you can always get a good high school AU out of any story.
True.
Ever, right? So give them little uniforms and like make them like match their personality, right? So like, what are they, the delinquent, right? Or are they like the student council president? Or are they like, you know, one of the nerds or one of the jocks, and you give them all your characters different costumes. It's very evergreen.
I dig it.
In my opinion.
I want them all to be Moogles, but mostly because I'm looking at my Moogle pillow.
Moogles are also good. Any sort of like full body mascot suits also.
That is strong. That is a strong
choice.
choice. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else I might like. You know, I love me some Naked Mario.
So you would just take all their shirts off? Is that the costume pack, or would they be naked?
They all just become Mario.
Okay. I'm just making sure. That'd have some interesting copyright issues with arranging that, but this is the ideal world.
See. One more, they all get Norded.
Okay, so yellow contacts.
Thanks.
Got it. That's on my bingo card. I bet you one of them is wearing golden contacts.
That would be bold. I bet you
Clayton comes
back.
Yes, and he's wearing yellow contacts to infiltrate because now he's on the side of the good guys because he died.
I bet you Deep Jungle comes back. They eliminated it not because of a rights issue, but because like a deep story issue. I would throw the game right then and there. I smell what I was gonna say. It's like I would break out in tears. That's a good one, Mario, though. It's like super sick and crying.
That's a good one.
What else? I don't know. I don't do that much like costuming, so this is hard for me.
Well, like think of all the games you're playing right now, and like if you could put them in costumes, what would work for every single game you're currently playing? There you go. They'll be Pokemon. Pokemon trainer costumes or like Pokemon?
Weird Poke costumes. Like not like turning them into Pokemon, like they are wearing Pokemon costumes.
Like full body suits or like inspired by? This is really important, Madelyn. Okay.
Like those ones, like the Pikachu dance videos, but like their faces have cutouts.
Okay, that's good. That's perfect, I think that's a perfect idea. Again, some rights issues, but just for the sheer beauty of that, I think it's worth it.
Digimon.
Worth the legal battle.
That's easier.
Digimon, yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're trash.
They don't have funny animals in Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess they do. They have like monsters or something that they summon from the cards. I've never watched Yu-Gi-Oh!
No, sorry. Yu-Gi-Oh! is trash.
Anyway, tell us what costumes you would want to see in every single game you've played. Like, what costumes would work?
Talk This t-shirts.
Every game you've played that you could dress them up. Talk This t-shirts. Perfect. Tell us in the comments, leave a review, tell us, shout out on social media, whatever. We want to know. And we will see about making it happen.
Why did you say that?
Just kidding. we will not. We will not. We will say that's a great idea and we wish that we could make it happen.
Company of your choice.
Yeah, sure. But anyway, tune in next week because we will be talking about Left 4 Dead and Detroit Become Human. So that should be fun.
It sure should.
And I hope that you have an extremely fashionable week.